Mr. Walden.
I thank the Chairman. I come here today on behalf of my constituents like I do every day, but I think especially today with our opportunity for all members to make their case to the Energy and Commerce Committee. First, we want to welcome them. And I think, as our colleagues on both sides of the aisle have already said, all of us in all of our communities face these challenges related to drug overdoses. I held a roundtable day before yesterday in Bend, Oregon, where learned a lot about the problems they're facing and some of the successes they're having, and the importance of the work that we're doing here. It's a heartbreaking epidemic that's been featured on the front pages of our local newspapers, on national television as part of the stories from our friends and family members, and with good reason. Conservative estimates forecast that more than 90 Americans die from opioid overdoses each day. 90 a day, Mr. Chairman, while more than 1,000 are treated each day for abusing opioids. In 2016 alone, more than 64,000 Americans died from drug overdoses, and in Oregon alone, more people died last year from drug overdoses than from car accidents. I recently held roundtables in Southern and Central Oregon to discuss how we can better combat this crisis, meeting with the people on the front lines of this fight in our communities to find out what's working, what more can be done, is crucial to our efforts to end this scourge. The Energy and Commerce Committee has led a number of bipartisan initiatives to help address the opioid epidemic, from groundbreaking initiatives that are now law, like the Comprehensive Addiction and Recovery Act, CARA, and the 21st Century Cures Act. Resources are becoming available, and important policy changes are being implemented to stem the tide of opioids. CARA established a comprehensive strategy for improving evidence-based treatment for patients with substance abuse disorders, and it made significant changes to expand access to addiction treatment and services and overdose reversal medications. The new law also included criminal justice and law enforcement-related provisions. The 21st Century Cures Act provided $1 billion in grants for states, the first half of which was made available in April of 2017 to be administered by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, or SAMHSA. My state of Oregon received a $6.5 million in grants to help combat the epidemic that's plagued our great state. However, so much more work needs to be done. Since the passage of CARA and the 21st Century Cures Act, other issues have emerged in the fight against opioids, such as the proliferation of fentanyl and its analogs, and then there are allegations of pill dumping and the practice of patient brokering. In my own district, I've heard the all-too-familiar tale of the mother whose oldest son was first prescribed opioids after injuring his ankle playing basketball. It didn't take long for him to become addicted. Another parent shared with me the story of his sister, a nurse who died of an overdose after years of suffering from addiction and bouncing between pharmacies, passing off forged prescriptions. He spoke about how better tracking and treatment could have helped catch his sister's problem earlier and perhaps made counseling more effective. As it was, she was only caught because two pharmacies in a small town happened to check with each other. You see, by then it was too late, though. These two stories may have come from Oregon, but they're not exclusive to the Beaver State. They're why we're here today. Addressing the opioid epidemic requires an all-hands-on-deck effort. Today we'll be hearing testimony and stories from our colleagues, both on and off the Energy and Commerce Committee, about what more can be done, and I'm looking forward to hearing feedback and input from both sides of the aisle to hear about what's working, what's not, and find ways to complement our existing law and to address emerging issues. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I appreciate everyone here today with us, taking time to participate. I look forward to hearing from all my colleagues, and together we must continue to fight this opioid crisis in America. And I yield back.
Gentleman yields back, Chair.